bullets going past the hall that I was right next to, and I saw some of the bullets going.
You can find. Hi, I'm Bill Breitz, president of Kroger. This holiday season, whether you're entertaining or need a special gift, Kroger has everything you need at low prices plus more.
I saw some of the bullets going past the hall that I was right next to, and then a teacher pulled me into her classroom. And there were two other ones that they were in the arms of a state trooper. They did not move. Their face was very pale. It was very tragic.
Very tragic. More than 20 people killed today, many of them children, after someone opened fire at a Connecticut elementary school.
The majority of those who died today were children. Beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old.
Like the rest of us, the president was emotional after hearing the news, and tonight flags across the country are flying at half-staff.
Now, there has been some confusion about the identity of the shooter and exactly how many people were killed.
Our Brad Woodard joins us now with what we know at this moment. Brad?
Yeah, guys, this is one of those stories you simply don't want to believe. The attack, coming less than 2 weeks before Christmas, is exceeded only by the Virginia Tech massacre of 2007. In a tragically ironic twist, the sign outside Sandy Hook Elementary School reads, "Visitors welcome." A most unwelcome visitor entered the school just before 9:30 this morning. Police say 20-year-old Adam Lanza was armed with at least 2 guns, killing 20 children and 6 adults. His mother, a teacher at the school, is presumed to be among them. Distraught parents rushed to the school to find their children.
It was really kind of mayhem in the room with all the kids and the teachers, trying to find your kid, identify where yours is, making sure that they're safe.
This 8-year-old boy described what it was like inside the school.
I saw some of the bullets going past the hall that I was right next to, and then a teacher pulled me into her classroom.
From the White House, an emotional Barack Obama spoke as president and as a parent.
They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own.
A picture may be worth 1,000 words, but this one only requires 2. Innocence lost. Lanza ultimately turned the gun on himself, and another person was found dead at his home, bringing the death toll to 28. Brad Woodard, KHOU 11 News.
It is chilling to hear from the children who saw what happened.
We were just in the middle of the gym when we heard some gunshots, and then the power randomly went out, and the gym teachers directed us to stay against the wall, and everybody started kind of panicking.
Do you think that all the kids were pretty brave like you were? I mean,
Some of them were like a little scared, but we had to go through it.
How did you know they were a little scared?
Everybody was like crying and stuff.
Haunting images from the children, and that little girl says that she and her classmates were taken to a firehouse where their parents were thankfully waiting for them.
The shooting already has at least one local school district reevaluating its safety procedures. This afternoon, I talked with the police chief of Spring Branch ISD, where a student, you might recall, brought a gun to school on Monday. No one was hurt. He says next week the district will now send out an email to all administrators asking them to go over their emergency plans because of what happened today. He also admits it is very difficult to keep weapons out of schools.
Well, if you want to build one like the prison system where you've got double fences and guard towers, that's about the only way that you can. And schools are not set up to be that way. They have to have some sort of openness.
The district provides this emergency pocket guide to all teachers to remind them of what to do in case of trouble.
The shooting was 1,700 miles away, but it hit so close to home for most every parent. We wondered if parents in our area will now plan on doing anything differently in light of this tragic event. Our Kevin Reese is live in Fort Bend County with more on what parents there are saying. Kevin?
Well, parents here at Palmer Elementary in Fort Bend ISD tell us they will talk to their kids as best they can, reassure them, answer their questions as best they can. But several parents told us that they already worried about their kids' safety even before the events today in Connecticut. The parents here, they always line up early to pick up their kids at the end of the school day. Some of them told us they lined up even earlier today to be with their kids as soon as they possibly could, to talk to them about what happened And school districts like Fort Bend ISD, Houston, Katy, and others are responding as well, sending email and letters to parents to reassure them that they are vigilant at all times and have security plans in place. But family members we talked to included a cousin of one elementary school student who told us he wanted to be the one to pick up her today so that he could see her as soon as he could.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I'm sure, me personally, I'd want to be on the hunt for the person who's done this to my kids and everybody else that my kids go to school with.
It's amazing that we have people like this that just walk in and do things such as what happened today. And my heart just really goes out to the parents and relatives of the children.
I asked him today if I can come pick her up because I needed to see her, and I needed to see her smile after she came out of school. I couldn't picture anything happening to her.
And as you mentioned, Greg, just a short while ago, it really doesn't matter where your elementary school is, whether it is 1,700 or 2,000 miles away. Parents all across the country responding as they are here at Palmer Elementary, hoping that something like this never happens where we live. For now, live in Fort Bend County, I'm Kevin Reese, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. And information keeps coming in. We have just learned that law enforcement is telling us the brother of the suspected shooter, the brother Ryan Lanza, they say they do not believe he had anything to do with today's shooting based on interviews with him. We saw that man in handcuffs a little bit earlier. Now they're telling us he had nothing to do with today's shooting. Looks like his brother, though, was the primary suspect. Well, today's shooting reminds us of the 1999 massacre at Columbine High School.
And today, those parents will never forget. And tonight, Daryl Scott, a man who lost his daughter Rachel in that mass shooting, is talking about how hard this is going to be for the families in Connecticut.
Be an element of shock for a period of time, and then, you know, the incredible pain, and eventually that initial pain will dull somewhat, but it'll always be there. I just finished speaking to a group of business people downtown Denver, and I heard that there was a shooting, and that was shock enough, but then to hear that it was an elementary school and twice as many victims as were killed at Columbine. And my wife and I both felt like we'd just been kicked in the gut.
And now 2 weeks before Christmas, other parents are feeling that same pain. On that day in 1999, the shooters killed 12 and wounded 21. Rachel Scott would have been 31 in August.
Coming up, more on the school shooting.
A look at what's going on right now at the scene in Newtown.
And it has been a cloudy day. We've had a little bit of rain. We'll take a look at the radar. I'll show you where a couple of sprinkles are falling, and I'll walk you through what I think is going to be a wet weekend. Coming up.
You're watching KHOU 11 News at 6 with Greg Hurst, Len Cannon, meteorologist David Paul with weather, and Butch Elsendor with sports. KHOU 11 News at 6.
Sadly, there is a long list of mass shootings at grade schools in the U.S. In 2006, a 32-year-old man killed 5 girls at a small Amish school in Pennsylvania and then took his own life. And of course, we all remember, and we just mentioned in 1999, Columbine, Colorado. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold killed 12 students and 1 teacher before they committed suicide. In 1998, 2 young boys killed 5 people at a middle school in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Andrew Golden and Mitchell Johnson, they were just 11 and 13 at the time. They are still in prison.
And it's not just gun violence. Several hours before the shooting in Connecticut, 22 children in China were stabbed on campus. It happened at the entrance of a village primary school in Henan province. Several of the kids are in critical condition. 1 adult was also hurt. A 36-year-old man is in custody. There are reports he may have mental illness. Now let's get you back to that elementary school shooting in Connecticut where 27 people are dead, including 20 children.
It happened this morning at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, a quiet, small community some 70 miles northeast of New York City.
Our Lily Jang is live near that school with the latest developments. Lily?
Yeah, Len and Greg, I'm just walking up to the scene right now of a fire station. This is a fire station where many of the parents whose children were killed today were taken. And some reporters are telling me that some of the parents are still inside. I've talked to a lot of people who live here who understandably are very, very upset. They don't want to go on camera. They really didn't even want to talk to me. But they say this is a very protective town. This is a small town. They moved out here to get away from the big city. And here they are dealing with being in glass bowl and the national media right here in their hometown. It didn't hit close to home. It hit home. They're inside right now. I'm looking at a few families just peering out, looking at the spectacle that is of their neighborhood and trying to explain to their kids why and how this could happen at home. I'm going to get more information as I walk up to the scene here, and I'll continue to bring live reports all night. Back to you guys.
All right, Lily, thanks.
Our viewers are sharing their condolences and thoughts on today's tragedy on our Facebook page. Stephanie Massey says she is praying, talking to my children, not focusing on the conversation or the horror that has taken place, but telling them that I love them and I'm always here. Georgette Morris posed a question: how do you tell them, your children, they are safe when you yourself do not feel they are?
Local school districts are reacting to this massacre. Katy ISD ensures parents they have emergency situations in place. They say they sent home a letter with parents saying that, quote, Katy ISD police officers will have an increased presence in and around our campuses next week. It also says the district has upgraded facilities to control access to campuses and procedures for keeping outside doors locked.
Safe to say tonight a nation is in mourning,
including some emotional reaction from President Obama.
We have some other news today. A woman who is asking for help to recover some stolen memories. That's ahead.
President Obama spoke to the nation today after the shootings, and he was clearly affected by what happened today.
Here's part of what he had to say.
I know there's not a parent in America who doesn't feel the same overwhelming grief that I do. They had their entire lives ahead of them. Birthdays, graduations, weddings. These neighborhoods are our neighborhoods, and these children are our children. And we're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this, regardless of the politics. While nothing can fill the space of a lost child or loved one, all of us can extend a hand to those in need to remind them that we are there for them. May God bless the memory of the victims. And in the words of Scripture, heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds.
Sadly, there have been several incidents like this since President Obama took office, including the Aurora, Colorado theater massacre, the Wisconsin Sikh temple shootings, the Fort Hood shootings in Texas, and the Tucson rampage that left 6 people dead about a year ago and severely wounded Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords.
There is also news from here at home. Authorities have removed 2 hungry children from a home in Galveston after they were found home alone. The children, a 4-year-old boy with special needs and a 7-year-old girl, were reportedly surrounded by drug paraphernalia. Police say their mom and stepdad were 3 hours away in East Texas. A neighbor who has not to be identified says the kids have been left alone before.
One day the little girl came, she was outside in the rain, and I brought her in. They had just moved into the neighborhood. I brought her in, fed her.
The mom and stepdad told police a babysitter was supposed to be watching the kids. So far, no charges have been filed. The children are in foster care.
Well, what happened to a woman at lunch the other day is a cautionary tale to all of us about crimes of opportunity. A burglar smashed in her car window, and she contacted us for an unusual public appeal to help recover some of her stolen memories.
She talked with our Sherry Williams.
The victim was enjoying lunch here the other day, but when she finished her pasta, she discovered that she had been preyed upon.
What they took, it's important for me, not for them.
Whoever broke into America Escobar's Honda, she wants you to know the iPods you can keep, but her old laptop you took, she needs it back. It was priceless.
Everything's right there.
The laptop contained all the pictures from just about every major event in her adult life: wedding, godson's births, a recent mission trip.
I don't have another copy. My honeymoon pictures. Who else is going to have those but me?
Escobar was on her lunch break at this Southwest Side Olive Garden Wednesday when someone took the laptop from her Honda. Her busted window still sits in the parking lot.
You gotta watch what you leave because, you know, it's anybody just can walk around and see what's on your car. Just
like this one in the same parking lot. Authorities say car burglaries are 100% preventable if you lock all valuables in your trunk. They say don't even leave loose change inside your car. Escobar wants the burglar to put her pictures on a flash drive.
I give you the code. It is 4444. Open it.
She also wants the Bible back that her grandpa gave her.
It's my study Bible. I've had it for years. I'm not gonna get those notes back.
The victim is a Jehovah's Witness, and she says whoever has her pictures could leave the flash drive in an envelope with her name on it, America Escobar, and leave it at any Kingdom Hall. She's certain she would get her pictures back in no time. Reporting from Southwest Houston, Sherry Williams, KHOU 11 News.
All right, we wish her well during this holiday season. Let's talk about the forecast. David Paul, cloudy today. Wet this weekend?
Yeah, I think so. The good news, though, for Reads Across America Houston, which is tomorrow, which Len, you are emceeing, and Channel 11 is a big part of, it looks like in the morning the rain chances will be subdued a bit. Now, I've got a 40% rain chance in there, but I think what falls between 10 o'clock and noon tomorrow will be light, if at all. So in the morning, I think we're going to be okay. It'll be the afternoon that I think we'll see a better rain chance on Saturday, and then a higher rain chance going into Sunday for the football game out at Reliance Stadium. Tailgating may be a bit of a wet mess out there. It's been like this all day. Cloudy skies. A little bit of light rain has fallen here and there. This is our tower camera here. The Channel 11 studios looking out to the west. Williams Tower, Galleria areas out there. 63 degrees. The clouds have been thick enough to keep temperatures below 70 in most neighborhoods today, and now the temps are beginning to fall a little bit. They won't fall that quickly because of the cloud cover. Aldine is 65, Hedwig Village is 65, Fifth Ward, you're 62, downtown is 63, and Friendswood, you're still hanging in there at 70. We had a few breaks in the clouds, allowed some neighborhoods to get up to 70 today for a high temperature. The radar has actually quieted down over the past couple of hours. A little bit of rain just exiting now Polk and San Jacinto County, so that light drizzle across Lake Livingston has now come to an end, and most of the area is dry, although socked in with clouds. And from time to time, the cloud ceiling, the cloud base will drop down even well into the tops of these skyscrapers downtown tonight and tomorrow. Houston at 66 right now. Relative humidity is at 84%. The winds are out of the southeast at 13. The southeast breeze is bringing the moisture up off the Gulf of Mexico and from South Texas. That's adding to the cloud cover, which will be thick tonight. True view forecast, cloudy evening, 63 by 7 o'clock. I think 60 by 10 o'clock, and then 59 is the low in the morning. See, the temperature doesn't move much when we have that thick layer of clouds. Southeast breeze at 10 tomorrow morning. And here are the clouds across the state of Texas. There's that little bit of rain that came across the area earlier, now exiting into the Arklatex. And then the storm system out west will be a slow mover. Let's watch how this is going to play out as we go into the weekend. By 7 a.m. tomorrow, cloudy skies with a rain chance off to our north and west. And by noon, see, not much of a rain chance. That's why I think the Reads presentation in the morning hours and early afternoon will be okay. Rain chances will increase as we go later in the day. By 6 o'clock, a little bit more coverage, but tomorrow what rain falls is expected to be relatively light. See how that band just kind of sets up shop and stays put and gets heavier as we go into 6 a.m. Sunday. I think if we're going to see some heavier batches of rain, it will be during the day on Sunday, and so tailgaters, make sure you are taking some sort of cover out there to the game, to Reliance Stadium on Sunday. Overnight lows will be in the 50s on the north and west side. Huntsville goes down to 58, Navasota 59, Woodlands 59 tonight, and it will be cloudy and maybe some fog. The cloud ceiling will dip low enough so it's going to be difficult for helicopters to fly this evening. And tomorrow, cloudy and mild, 74 in Hempstead, Woodlands at 75 tomorrow. Weather where you live, central south side, overnight lows 59 in Houston, 58 Liberty, 60 in Sugar Land, cloudy, foggy, maybe a little drizzle here and there. And then a high temp tomorrow up to about 75. There's your 40% rain chance Saturday. But as we saw, a better chance in the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday looks like the wet day with a 60% chance for rain. If we're going to see a thunderstorm, I think it will be on Sunday morning, and again on Sunday afternoon. There's a front involved in all of this. That should shift the wind to the northwest on Monday and clear things out. A little cooler on Monday as well. Tuesday, 42 and 68 should be a nice day, but the weekend does look wet, especially on Sunday, so adjust your plans accordingly.
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Coming up, more continuing coverage on the shootings in Connecticut. New information is continuing to pour in after the tragic elementary school shooting in Connecticut.
We have learned the brother of the suspected gunman, 24-year-old Ryan Lanza, is, quote, being extremely cooperative with police and is not believed to be involved. His brother, 20-year-old Adam Lanza, is the suspected gunman who police say opened fire in the school where his mother was a teacher. She is believed to be among the dead. That includes 20 children and 6 adults before taking his own life.
So how do you explain these horrific types of crimes to children? Well, family and child psychologist Dr. Gail Gross offers this advice.
It's important to be honest, to be real, but to be age appropriate, and guide your children through the media information so that they're not hearing misinformation, and so that you can explain to them in words that they can understand, and that this is a rare thing that has happened and something that we will take measures as a community, as a culture, to see that it doesn't happen again.
Dr. Gross says schools should handle that situation in a similar way.
And coming up, the CBS Evening News will have more details on today's tragedy.